All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how I go about spraying a door jamb. And I'm going to talk about the technique I use, the tip I use, and kind of go over why I do what I do, in this situation. So I'm going to talk about, my setup here. When I spray trim, because I'm not tall enough, I always to actually be able to get it at a good angle and shoot it at a right angle. I always use a 6-inch extension, when doing door jambs, and I never take the extension off when I'm doing the baseboards or the window trim, anything. I like the reach the extension gives me, and it just makes the gun more versatile. I don't have to bend over as much doing baseboards, etc. So I have a 6-inch extension. If you're curious what the green device is, it's a fan pivot. It'll rotate your gun 90 degrees. That's a magnetic device that just rotates it for any reason. If I need to quickly rotate it, I can just rotate it, with my finger quickly and easily. I'm using a Tritech tip, so I'm a big fan of Tritech tips, and especially their fine finish tips. I don't think there's any fine finish tip made right now that's any better than Tritech's tips. The size of the tip, I use a 510 tip. And somebody, if you have any experience spraying trim, somebody are going to question, why don't you use a 310 tip? And when you see me spraying this door jamb and some trim, it's a 510 is a fairly wide fan compared to a 310. A 310 is doubled at 6 inches wide. A 5 is 10 inches wide, so it gives you more width. Now the reason why I choose a 5 is because it's way faster spraying doors. So I spray doors always in new construction with a 5. If I have just 4-inch trim around the house or smaller, like on baseboards, etc., a lot of times I'll side towards a 3-inch fan. But since I'm using a 5 on the doors, I also have baseboards that a 3-inch fan doesn't cover 100% of the baseboard like in one shot. So I like using a 5 on these taller style baseboards. A 5, we've got our header up here. This header is not a little 4-inch header, which is like 3.5 inches. This is a larger header. And from this distance to that distance, I like my tip when I turn this corner to be able to span that whole distance. So that's why I use a 510 on these door jambs in this scenario. Now, like some people might think, you got too much overspray. The amount of overspray that you're gonna have, in certain situations doesn't overcome or outweigh the benefit that the spray pattern offers by being able to go faster on doors, being able to go faster on these large baseboards, being able to get it spanning the distance across, that header, and being able to just get a good finish across the door jamb itself. So there's my setup. Tritech tip. It's got a Titan guard with a Tritech gun. I like a 2-finger gun. I can't stand 4-finger guns. A 2-finger gun, you have 2 fingers controlling the gun, 2 fingers on the trigger. If you have a 4-finger gun, you don't have anything controlling the gun. A lot of times guys will swap it down here to be able to pull a 4-finger gun, but then now you're controlling it way down here. It's just really weird. I don't even understand why they make 4-finger guns. This is hooked up to my Tritech T5, so it's got a Tritech gun on it. Pressure is gonna be 2200 PSI. Anytime I'm spraying trim, somewhere around that 2100, 2200 PSI, getting down to 2000, that's probably a little bit low. So make sure your PSI is right according to the tip that you got on here. So I'm spraying a product from Sherwin-Williams called a Scuff Tough, matched up with this 510 tip and that pressure. It's been spraying out super nice. So I'm gonna talk about the door jamb itself. I'm right-handed, so it's more natural for me to spray a door jamb from right to left. If you're left-handed, it might be more natural for you to spray from left to right. Now, how I actually spray a door jamb, I came up with this method from years and years of practice of getting runs in certain places on door jambs and window trim, etc. And I'll explain to you why I do what I do. When I spray, I'm going to start off of my surface. You never want to start spraying on your surface, whether you have an extension or not, because you're more likely to get a spit onto this nice smooth surface. I always start off the surface and end off the surface. So wherever I'm going to end, I'll come off and release my trigger. So I don't start pulling the trigger on, I don't don't release the trigger on. So I'm gonna start off and I'm gonna come into a sweeping arc. I don't wanna have starts and stops. That's the whole goal of when you're trying to tackle something like this, is not having a start and stop or overlaps. So early on in my career, what I would do is I would spray the face. I'd come straight up, spray that face, and then I'd come across and spray it coming across. So now I just came up, I created a line coming up with one coat, then I come across and shoot it again. So this has got one coat, this has got two coats, it aligns, there's gonna be a line right here, that's a run spot. And I would get runs there all the time. And so it's the same thing. If you just, if you come up here and come back down, got an end point, a start and stop point, a heavy point, you're more likely to run. So you wanna have this thing somehow sprayed continuously, with no overlaps. Now, sometimes you gotta break the rules, but this is where the 5-10 tip, comes into play. I mean, you're gonna come up here and you want it, because I'm doing a continuous movement. I'm not coming up and coming across. So I want this continuous movement like this to eliminate overlaps. And I'm gonna come up, and I don't wanna come up and stall and turn the corner, because if you stall, this is going to be a heavy spot right here. So it's gonna be this natural sweeping movement coming up and then back down. My whole goal in this thing is to spray this whole side in multiple passes without stopping and releasing the trigger. So I'm gonna, I gotta spray my edges first, because you gotta get your edges. So I always spray my edges first. I don't count that as my continuous pass. I'm gonna come up my edge, I'm gonna come up my edge. A lot of people do not paint the tops. You should get up, ladder, spray the top. Then I'm gonna begin my continuous pattern spraying. I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna spray the face, and then come back down, and then I'm gonna come right back up, because now I've got this point right here. I need to hit these sides at an angle, so I'm gonna come right back up and come back down, shooting it at this angle directly at that. And I find that that works way better to be able to hit these two sides versus spraying it straight and straight. So I want to go straight, angle, and then my last pass is going to be straight again, because I want to hit it straight on. So I'm going to come up, I'm hitting the face, now I'm coming at an angle, hitting an angle, and then I'm going to rotate and come back, and I'm going to hit the face. So face, angle, face. And then that's going to be the outside of the door jamb. I'll swap right to this side, and you can do either side first. I mean, I can do this side first, or I can do this side first. It's gonna be the same thing. I'm gonna come to this side, hit my edge, hit my edge, hit my tap, and then do my 3 passes on the door here. So I'm gonna shoot it right now. Now, I always wear a mask. I'm not gonna wear a mask because I'm gonna be talking while I'm shooting this door jamb right here. I'm gonna shoot the opposite side first, and then I'll come back out here, shoot the other side, and you'll see what it looks like me with my back to the camera. I'm gonna talk a little bit about heat. I cranked up the heat. Heat's at 70 degrees. I wanna make sure, return air, I wanna make sure heat's off. I almost forgot, heat's off. Now I'm ready to go. So I'm gonna hit aside. Nice steady pace. Try to hit this side, pretty tight up against the wall. I'm gonna come across the top. Want to shoot it down about a 45-degree angle. Now, I'm gonna work on the door jamb. I'm gonna start off the surface, come up, turn that corner, come back down, flat. Now I'm gonna hit it at an angle. I'm watching it hit. Now I'm flat. Watching it hit my surface, gel out nicely. Just like that. Now I'm gonna swap sides. Side. Nice steady pace. When you hit your sides and top, it helps get that corner. Side. Top. Got a 45-degree angle. Now face. Angle. space. Stop off the surface. Now that door jamb is done. That's the first coat. Let it dry. We'll inspect it one more time. I already saw a few things that the guy sanding missed doing final sand. There was something that might not get filled in. It actually did get filled in with the paint. It's looking pretty good. So that is how I actually spray a door jamb. And I do the exact same thing every single time. Once you like get a system and a process that you can replicate like that with no runs, you'll just spray every one. You'll just start repeating it over and over. Early on in my career, I would just walk up to the door jamb and just randomly start spraying somehow, and I would get runs like in different places every time because I didn't have the same system and the same process every single time that was replicatable. So now I have something that I can replicate every single time. I mean, this is the trim package you see in literally 95% of the houses that I paint. And so I can't even remember the last time I've gotten a run on a door jamb. Now I'm gonna do another video. You can stay tuned and watch another video. I'm gonna show you how I do baseboards to replicate getting perfect baseboards, like getting a perfect door jamb. And I'm also gonna do a video how I would spray a windowsill to get that perfect flat smooth finish doing a windowsill. Stay tuned.